stamping friends. Christine Ludwig here from Christine's Stamping Spot, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Albert, Alberta, and welcome to my Mystery Monday video today for Monday, July 13th. Oh my goodness, almost halfway through July. And we are finally supposed to get some really hot summer weather this week. I think you know my long tales about all the rain and record rainfall we've had. So this week, I guess we're going in the other direction where we're supposed to get temperatures in the high 20 Celsius range anyway. So we will see if that happens. Okay, so speaking of hot, if any of you were able to join in my Facebook Live on Friday, I started to play with our new Stampin' Up! Hot foil system. This was just launched to the public on Friday. Yeah, the 10th is when it went live. Demonstrators have known about it for a while and have really had to keep a hard secret. It was really hard not to, share our excitement about it, but we were asked just to wait until the launch period. So now it is available to everyone, and it is amazing and will really change your card making as well. Not that you have to use it all the time, but it's a really great alternative to some different designs. So we have a number of different dies, hot foil dies that are specially made for the system. And today we're going to play with this Butterfly Flight and the Sweetly Sentimental. Okay, but first I just want to show you the actual system if you missed it on Friday and what is included with it. So when you open your box, you're going to get this plate, which is your heat plate, okay, the actual system itself. You have a silicone mat that you can place this on to protect your work surface from heat. Not that it gets scorching hot, but you don't, there is a risk that you could, possibly, get a slight burn or whatever. So just to protect your table. This is our other silicone mat where you can place the dies after they've come off of the heat plate, and our little magnetic pickup tool, which is awesome. And then you also get your charging power cord and your little other supply cord that magnetically clicks into your hot plate. So I'm actually going to plug this in right now. In just 1 second, because it does take a couple of minutes to heat up. Okay, and then you also get your shim and your, I'm going to call it a cutting plate, but it's the top plate that you would use when making your sandwich. Okay, so when you first plug this in, you're just going to click your power supply. All the buttons go on briefly, and then the red light will flash. So it will beep again when it is ready to make your sandwich. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside while I show you a couple of other things in the meantime. First thing is, when you get one of these packages of hot foil dies, a lot of them come with regular dies that go through your die cutting machine and the hot foil dies. So the difference between the two, you can see here, I hope. This is the foil die. It's a little more of a matte finish. So this is the one that goes on the system. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because this is the one we're going to use today on our project. And then this is the one that you would cut out your images after. Okay, these do not go on top of the plate, the regular ones. They are not made for that. So just be aware, these are only for cutting out your images. And you have a couple of extra little pieces in here as well. So I'm just going to take this out too, because we're going to need this. And this set that we're using, the Sweetly Sentimental, has a whole bunch of greetings to it. And it has a corresponding die to cut them out. So here you go. This is the hot foil die, which you can see is a little more of a matte finish, and then the one to cut it out. So I'm going to show you what those turned out like later, because we are going to put one of these on our card. Now, as far as the foil, the three colors we have right now are gold, silver, and light pink. So they come in a box like this, and you get 2 rolls in one box. Okay, so I believe each one has about 5 yards of foil on it, and it just cuts like butter through your paper trimmer. Okay, I try to cut mine down a little bit closer to the size of the hot foil die, just to save a little bit of foil. But right now we have silver, light pink, and gold. So for our purposes today, we're going to use the light pink on our project, but I will show you what these other ones turned out like at the end as well. So I hope I don't forget to show you that. And we have been told that Stampin' Up! Is definitely going to expand this line going forward by adding more hot foil dies of different sorts and more colors of foils. So we do have a new catalog that's going to start up in the fall, so September to December, which typically has a lot of our fall and Christmas products in there. So I think we can almost guess for sure. No promises, but I'm going to say I'm pretty certain there will be some red and green foil in there somewhere, or some sort of a color that we can use for hot foiling, and potentially also some really fabulous hot foil dies for Christmas. So very, very excited to see what will be coming down the line as this progresses. Now, it may not just be in a catalog. They could launch other products on upcoming online exclusives as well. So we just have to keep our eyes open. And if you really love this line, you know, this is not the only hot foil system out there, but it is the Stampin' Up! One. Okay, and one really important thing to note is that this platform, once you have your sandwich, everything made, everything's heated up, it goes through your cut and emboss machine. It will not fit in the old black Big Shot that we used to sell, which we have now not sold for years. And I do understand that a lot of demonstrators just have the old Big Shot. Okay, so now, just hold that thought. It has gone to a solid red. So what that means is that we can put our die on top because it's heated enough. Then we're going to press this flashing button, and we're going to wait for this to turn green, and it will beep again. Okay? All right, back to my little story. I know I still have my old black one as well, but this platform is just a little bit too wide. It will not fit through there. So just something to be aware of is that you do need the white cut and emboss machine. And as we do this process, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me move this just a little bit to the side. Okay, so the card we're going to make today, now what did I do with it? I know it is here. Okay. It is this one here. So I don't know if you can see that pink shimmer on the butterflies. And then with this particular bundle, you get the dies with the hot foil dies plus decorative masks. And that's how you color in your butterfly if you want. Otherwise, you can leave them just with the foil. They're beautiful too. And you'll see when they come out of the platform what they look like. But this is what we're going to make today. So this, I'm using some Hydrangea Hue in our card stock here, Hydrangea Hue ribbon. And here we are ready to go. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm just going to stand up for this because it's easier for me to do this. And I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine as well, because we are going to need that. Okay, so what you want to do now is, first thing is unplug this. Okay, I like to do it at the beginning, less chance of it shifting later. So when your die is down, you have the detailed side facing up. This is our foil. So you're going to put the colored side or the shinier side down on top of the die, kind of like they're kissing each other, right? And then next important part is your cardstock. When I first did this on Friday, I forgot my cardstock. And I have now seen that a number of demonstrators have done that as well as we're getting used to it. Okay, can you even see what I'm doing? Oh my gosh, I should move this over a little bit. Okay, do you see what I've done there? Okay, and then I'm gonna put my shim on top of that, and then my last clear plate on top of that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the whole system, bring in my die cutting machine, and I am gonna run this through. Now I hope you can see this. I hope it's not, it might be a little bit, I'm gonna do it sideways. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm just gonna shift it a little bit, this cutting blade. Okay, I'm gonna push that through. And the trick is to go very, very slow, okay? Somehow makes the foil, I think, adhere a little bit better. So you're just gonna go very slow until it runs through, okay? And then you can take this out and put it back on your silicone pad. So I'm gonna put my die cutting machine down and let us see what we have. Let me bring my silicone over. Okay, so I'm gonna take off the cutting pads, and the foil got stuck here, but that's okay. I'm going to take off my hot die, and just this, with this little spring knob, it just drops, okay, so you don't burn your fingers. And let me just move this out of the way, and then we will do the reveal, and you will see what happens. So this is how it comes out. You gently peel your foil off, and you are left with your butterflies. Is that just not the neatest thing? I don't know about you, but I had never heard of hot foiling before. And like I say, I know this is not the only system out there, we were told, but I had never heard of hot foiling. And so I was just so amazed when I saw this. I thought, oh, this is just so cool. Okay, so these are the pinks. So I'm just gonna bring my my glass mat back so we can actually make a card out of this. All right, so this is what it looks like in the light pink. And I did have other colors to show you. I just have to see where they are. Oh, here they are. Okay. And this is the gold. If you're looking for gold butterflies, can you see that shimmer there? Okay, so that's the gold. And then this is the silver. All right, so all just beautiful. Okay, so we are going to work with the pink today. So just pick, I think I picked about 3 colors that I wanted my butterflies to be. Now, like I said, they come with the masks, and these are what they look like. They are the Butterfly Flight decorative masks. There are 4 of them, and they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and the notch at the top. Okay, so I'm going to do them in the order, and I think that's why they're numbered. I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3. I don't think I'm going to use 4 because it's the antenna, and these already have antenna on them, right? So I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to start with number 1, and the colors I chose are Bubble Bath, Balmy Blue, and Hydrangea Hue. So I'm going to switch them up, just 2 colors. I'm going to switch the order of. On this one, I started with the, what did I start with? I think I started with the bubble bath. Yeah, I think I started with the bubble bath here. And then I went to Balmy Blue, and then I went to the Hydrangea Hue. So this time, I think I'm going to start with the Balmy Blue. Then go to the bubble bath, and then the Hydrangea Hue last. Okay, so I like to take a piece of masking tape just to hold this mask down in place so it doesn't shift on me. And to line it up, what I found with these that works the best for me is I line up this bottom butterfly first. Okay, so I'm going to line this one up around that foil, and the others then basically just fall into place. I can see there's a couple spots where the foil didn't adhere, so maybe that die wasn't quite, maybe I didn't go slow enough on the die cutting machine, but it's okay for our purposes. It's the first time I've seen that, so it's probably because I did not go slow enough. Okay, everyone has said, go slow, go slow. And I know it's just natural to just crank that handle, right, on our die cutting machine just to get it through as fast as we can. But this one, you have to have some patience. Okay, so I'm gonna start, maybe, I know I'm not sure what order I did this in. Maybe I should start with the pink first, you know? I think I'm gonna do that because it's such a large area here. So let's start with the pink. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll start with the bubble bath. And we are just gonna go over these masks, okay? As light or as dark as you would like, okay? Add as little or as much ink as you like. Probably leave it a little bit lighter maybe. And at the end, when you're done, all you have to do is run these masks under water and the ink will come right off, okay? Just wipe it off as you're rinsing it with your hand, and then just dry them with a cloth, a dry cloth, and they are good to go. Oh, click that closed. Okay, so let's take number 1 off. Okay, there's number 1. So we're going to set that one aside. And then we're going to take number 2, and again, I'm going to just line it up on this bottom right butterfly. And you may just need to tweak the top a little bit. Here you can just line up these holes here, and then the rest just kind of fall, like I said, into place. So you just put it down. And again, I'm gonna put this down with some masking tape, okay? And then I'm gonna go to the Balmy Blue. I'm deciding now, do I wanna do Balmy Blue or do I wanna try something else? I'm wondering if I should try, oh, okay, never mind. I've got my head just flying in a million different places right now. That's the thing with these, is there are so many options with color, and just experiment with it, right? Just experiment and see which combinations you like the best. I purposely started with the light, and I'm going a little bit darker. But I don't know if, yeah, there's a lot of different combinations. I think after this, I'm definitely going to play around with some different colors of cardstock and different colors of ink and see what we come up with. Because butterflies can be lots of different colors, right? Okay, so there's number 2. Oh my gosh, is that not just so pretty? Oh, I think that's so great. Okay, so I am doing this a little different than my sample, like I said, the order. Now you could leave it like that too if you didn't want to add any more color, but we do have one more mask that I'm going to use just to see. Okay, so this is a very detailed one, I think, this last one. So again, I'm going to line this up with that bottom butterfly. And again, you have these little dots here to cover up these little dots that are here. So that's a good place to kind of make sure that's lined up, and just sort of adjust it a little if you have to. Okay, if it's not perfect, that's fine too. Don't worry. The first time I tried, I did miss a few little spots, but that's okay. You could always, if it really bothered you, you could always take your blend and just fill in that little white portion if you're, you know, not quite happy with how it might have turned out. But this time I'm going to use the hydrangea hue. Ooh, let's put that on upside down. Okay, so let's try the hydrangea hue. Now this is going to be a lot darker, so maybe I just won't press quite so hard. It's just, I think, meant to add a little bit of darker detail on top of the butterflies. And let's do this. Okay, so we are covering again some of those bigger spaces, as little or as much as you like. Yeah, I think this one's okay. If it does shift, you know, just reposition it. That's okay. And I never used to do a ton of masking and with these masks until Stampin' Up! Just made it so easy by putting it in the right order. The only tricky part for me is deciding on the colors to use. So I don't know if you guys have that problem. All right, and there are our butterflies. So pretty. So pretty, aren't they just? Oh my gosh. I love these. So now that you have them all colored, what you would do is take that die that's part of that bundle and see how it lines up perfectly around these butterflies. Just perfect. And you would run that through your die cutting machine, and then you would be left with 5 butterflies. So I have gone ahead and done that. These might look a little bit different than the ones we just did, because now we are going to make our card. Now, did I forget to cut one color? I need to cut my hydrangea hue. So let me just get a piece of paper. I'll be right back. I think when I was prepping this, I kind of thought, oh, maybe we'll try doing it in totally different colors. And then I thought, well, let's use the same, but just in a different order. So I guess that's why I didn't cut that. So our base here is basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 5 1/4, 4 1/4. And then our layer is going to be 5 1/4, which is that, by 4. There we go. Just need a little sliver off that. Okay, and then I have another piece of basic white, which is 5 by 3 3/4, and I will post these measurements. And this has been run through the Floral Spray 3D embossing folder. This was in our May to August catalog. I know it was very, very popular. I didn't have a chance to check the status if this is available right now, because it was unorderable for quite a while. So I have to check if it came in early, but that's what I used here. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on top of our hydrangea hue layer. Okay, so I'll put the flower here. Now you can also decide, do you want this to be portrait or landscape, right? So this one I did portrait. Let me fold our card base and we will see. Maybe we'll switch it up today, after all, a little bit. Okay, so this is our base, our basic white. So you could do it this way, like I did, except make sure that the opening is on the correct side, right there. Or you could do it this way as well, which would be very pretty. And these are your butterflies once they are cut out. Now on this one, I only used 3. I didn't use all 5. Totally up to you, whatever you like, whichever ones you would like to use, if you would like to use all of them. I am going to put on some ribbon, but I just want to decide if I want to do it this way or not. So do I want to use this large one and just have these guys sort of fluttering around? I could do that. That's pretty too. I think 5 for me. 5 is kind of a lot. What would it look like with 5? Let's see. Oh boy, that's a lot of butterflies. I mean, it's doable for sure. It's all your personal preference. There's no right or wrong for sure. I think I'm just going to go with 3. So maybe I will do the large one. Maybe I'll do this one this time. I didn't use this on the other sample. And do I want the little one, or is that too little compared to those? Maybe use the medium one. That might look a bit better. Okay, so let's do it landscape this time. But first I'm going to put on a piece of ribbon around here. So this is the hydrangea hue bordered ribbon, I believe it's called. What's it called? Bordered ribbon, yes, 3/8 inch. Okay, so let's put some adhesive on the sides here. And then we will attach it maybe just about here and go across. It's really pretty ribbon, very soft. Very soft. And ties quite nicely. Okay, so there's our ribbon. Now, one thing I'm going to do is just tack this down again with some tear and tape, just because over time our oh my gosh, do you guys ever call it snail adhesive? I still find myself doing that. Don't tell my secret, but our Stamp and Seal, that's what it's called. Can tend, I think, sometimes to dry out a little bit over time. So I'm just, you know, and then your ribbon might come off and start flopping around, and yeah. So I've started just sort of reinforcing it with a bit of this tear and tape, and I'm going to leave the backer on. It doesn't have to come off. No one's going to see it. Okay, so let's put this on here on our base. Okay, and then we will add our butterflies with dimensionals. So let me grab those. So we're going to use this large one first, he's going to take up the most space on here. So let's make sure he's going to stay put and not fly off the card. Butterfly Flight. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Butterfly Flight. Okay, so let's just put our large one over here. And then this medium one, we'll also put some dimensionals on him. Let's just do 3. Okay. And I'll do this one here. And then our little one, we'll just put maybe 2 on this little guy. Okay, and then we will put him maybe over here or over here, because we are going to add our greeting. It doesn't have to be on our ribbon like the first one. I guess I could have put him a little bit higher, but maybe I'll put our greeting down here. So maybe I will just put this guy there. Now for the greeting, remember I said we were going to try to find something from this Sweetly Sentimental bundle. So look at all the greetings. Happy birthday, cheers to you, sending hugs, just a little hello. Here's to another year. Have a lovely day. So lucky to have you. Here's to a lifetime of happiness. Thank you. Sending bunches of love. My heart is with you. How great is that? So I went ahead and ran it through. So when it comes through the foiling system, this was done with a light pink, and this is how it comes out. So you have all of these greetings here. Now, what was interesting, I thought, why is this here? Why are these little squares here? Did something happen with the foil during the foiling? Like, what happened? And then when I was looking at this and playing with it with the regular die, I realized there are 2 squares on the side of this one greeting, okay? And if you line your die, this is the one that goes through your cut and emboss machine. This is not the hot foil die. This is the one to cut out all of these greetings. So if you line up those 2 little squares in the hole, it lines up perfectly. And then you run this through your die cutting machine, okay? And then you get all of these greetings cut out for you. And I'm just going to put these in a little container or a Ziploc bag, a little one, and they will be ready to go. Now, I also did them in gold because I thought, well, at some point I might want to use gold. And I mean, you could do them in the silver as well, so you have a little bit of everything. But look at, these are all ready to go. I think they are just fabulous. And some of them have different, like some have little points at the end, some have little flags, some are slanted, some are rounded, some have more of a, you know, a bit of a decorative look to the end. So neat. Okay, so this one I did thank you. I think on this one, I want to do just a little hello. And I'm gonna, now this is kind of small, right? I mean, it works. You could just put it there and that would look very dainty and cute. I wonder if I should just do that. Or for this one, I mounted it on a piece of Bubble Bath cardstock. So this, I could either put it on Bubble Bath, or I could put it on the Hydrangea Hue as well, or I could just leave it. Oh my gosh, see what I'm talking about? Choices, you guys? Oh, I don't know. What would you guys do? When I look at this now, because of everything else going on, I'm almost okay with just leaving it like that, honestly. Oh, I think I will. Huh. I was all ready to mount it on Bubble Bath again, but I think I'm just going to leave it. I just think it looks so pretty and dainty just like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put regular adhesive. I'm not going to pop it up on dimensionals. I'm just going to stick it down here. Like that. Do you think? Let me know in the comments. What would you have done? Would you have mounted it, left it, or put it on? Like, what color of cardstock would you have mounted it on? Bubble Bath or Hydrangea Hue? Or just leave it? I'm curious. What is the poll out there? I would love to know. All right, so last thing we are going to do is add some of our in color dots. Okay, so we have all of the new in colors in here. And because I used Hydrangea Hue, I mean, I could add the little blush ones too if I wanted, because I've used the pink and the foil. But I think I'll stick with the Hydrangea Hue. I don't know, I love this color. I think I've already mentioned that many times, but I just love this color. I think it is so awesome. And, you know, just love it. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to use on here. Hydrangea Hue. I'll just put a little dot on the leaf. There. Now I have a big mess on my table. And all of the greetings I'm going to keep for another project. Maybe once I play with more color with these butterflies, right? Oops. And there you go, guys. 2 different sort of versions. One portrait, one landscape, using those Butterfly Flight, the bundle, the hot foil dies, and I just think it's great. And with the light pink foil, I think it's really beautiful. Okay, everybody, that is my second attempt at hot foiling, and it went way better than my first. Did what it was supposed to do, and that made me very happy because I still get really nervous with new products sometimes. So I hope you like that project. I hope you'll consider the hot foil system, and if not, that's fine too. You know, we are a card making company, scrapbooking company. Do what makes you happy, do what you can afford, what's in your price point, in your budget, and don't forget, you can always use Stampin' Rewards towards your purchases. One of the best ways, and I'm going to say this, one of the best ways to purchase this, if you're not already a demonstrator, join the Stampin' Up! Family, because we have a new join experience where you purchase the startup fee for $135, and then you are given a $170 coupon code that you can apply to whatever product you want. Now, it may not quite, I think it's 170, or is it 270? I think it's a $170 coupon. Anyways, but that goes a long way, and you can always add Stampin' Rewards. So there are ways that you can save things, and then you also would get your minimum 20% discount on your product if you become a member of the Stampin' Up! Family. So just a little food for thought for anyone on the fence. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm having a great time with it. And I just wanted to showcase another way to use it today. So have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.